Hello guys, Fish767 here. So today, I have a very special deck. It's probably one of my favorites that I've built ever. And this is probably the 5th iteration, give or take. The first deck I built was way back at the beginning of 2018, and it was considerably different deck because I didn't have utility cards like I do now. But way back then, it was good and you didn't beat it. Like, you had to be playing something really weird and off the charts in order to beat it. You know, like Control beat it, but Control's not going to beat this deck, not as easily. So, what we're playing is approximately 32 kill spells, and then we have 5 cards, which are win cons and stuff to keep them alive. No, 31 win cons. Or, not 31 win cons, 31 kill spells, because we do have a couple cards to just keep us alive a little bit longer. So, getting into it, we got 2 murders, destroy target creature at instant speed, pretty nice. We have 2 Doomfall. So, Doomfall is a 3-drop sorcery. It says choose one. Target opponent exiles a creature he or she controls, or target opponent reveals his or her hand. You choose an online card from it and exile that card. So, we've got a little bit of we've got a lot of exile in this deck, actually. Quite a bit more than I would have put in any other deck. And we also have a couple things to just let us see our hands, but our opponent's hand, but most everything is just, you know. So anyway, we've got 2 the Slaughters, a 3-drop instant target player sacrifices a creature or planeswalker, and then Delirium. If by chance that ever happens, it's probably never going to happen. If there are 4 more card types among cards in our opponent's graveyard, instead that player sacrifices a creature and a planeswalker. And we have 3 of those. And we have Strive of the Believers. It's a 4-drop instant with Strive. It costs 3 more to cast for each target beyond the first. Exile any number of target creatures and all auras attached to them. So, very good card. We only run 1. We have 2 Remorseless Punishment. So this is a 5-drop sorcery. Target opponent loses 5 life unless that player discards 2 cards or sacrifices a creature or planeswalker, and then you repeat the process once. That is a potential win con, but that's not what it's there for. We got 1 Fountain of Renewal main boarded, and this is just in case mono red comes up, and we want to be prepared in our first game, and if we get it and we're lucky, we'll probably be winning that game, but this deck should trample over mono red anyway. We run 4 Spark Harvest, which is a 1-drop sorcery, additional cost to cast the spell, sacrifice a creature, or pay 4. Unless we have Liliana out, we're paying 4. So, and then you destroy target creature or planeswalker, so we do have quite a bit of planeswalker interaction. We don't like our opponents having them. We have a Innocent Blood. It's a 1-drop. Each player sacrifices a creature. Guess what? We don't have creatures, so it doesn't matter. We run 2 of those. We have, I think, 3 Settle the Score. A 4-drop sorcery. Exile a target creature. Put 2 loyalty counters on a planeswalker you control. And our win cons just happen to be planeswalkers, so that's nice. And we do have 3 of those. We have 1 Elder Spell, 2-drop, destroy any number of target planeswalkers, and then choose a planeswalker you control, put 2 loyalty counters on it for each planeswalker destroyed this way, which could let us win the game just right off the bat, right there with this 1 card, if they're playing planeswalkers, that is. Otherwise, we don't have to choose a planeswalker, and we just blow up every other planeswalker on the board, so wonderful. Crux of Fate, destroy all dragons or destroy all non-dragons. It's a 5-drop sorcery. Usually you don't play a mix with dragons, so this board wipes effectively. Eviscerate, 4-drop, destroy target creature as a sorcery. You could replace that with a murder, probably a good idea. I don't have another murder that I could find, so you got this. You could change that. We run 1 Elixir of Immortality. 2 would probably be an optimal number, but it's a 1-drop artifact. Pay 2, tap it, you gain 5 life, shuffle it and your graveyard into their owner's library. We run, I think, 3 Grip of Desolation, which is a 6-drop instant devoid, exile target creature and target land. So if they have lands out that's making creatures, just get rid of them. It is a little bit expensive though, but that's okay. We run 3 of those. We run 4 Diabolic Edicts. It's a 2-drop instant, target player sacrifices a creature. I got 1 old one and then 3 of the newer ones. Or no, I have 3 old ones and 1 new one. Then we run 1 Liliana's Triumph. You could, of course, run more of these, which would probably be a good idea. But it's also a 2-drop instant. Each opponent sacrifices a creature. If you control Liliana Planeswalker, each opponent also discards a card. This card is significantly better than the Diabolic Edict because it says each opponent instead of target player. So you can get through Hexproof with this card, and in addition, if you're playing like a 4-player game, you get everybody at once. So I would replace the Edicts with this if you can. Then, as our win cons, we got Obnixilis, the Hate Twisted. Whenever an opponent draws a card, it deals 1 damage to that player. -2, destroy target creature's controller draws 2 cards. It's a 5-drop, 5 loyalty planeswalker. We got Liliana, Dreadhorde General. Now, that one's a bit expensive. Any Liliana works except for the one from M19, basically. And the one that goes searches for swamps. Don't use that one either. But otherwise, any other Liliana will work, or any other black planeswalker that will win you the game. Or can deal damage, or any black planeswalker, basically. Or any other card that you want to put in here that can do something like this. There's plenty of black cards. Just find a card if you can't get this one. It'll work, I guarantee it. This is 6-drop legendary planeswalker Liliana. Whenever a creature you control dies, draw a card. That might happen a little bit. +1, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. -4, each opponent sacrifices 2 creatures. -9, each opponent chooses a permanent they control of each permanent type and sacrifices the rest. Woohoo. That's, we hope to do that. Obnixilis, the Black Oath, a 5-drop, 3 loyalty, actually. Planeswalker, +2, each opponent loses 1 life, you gain life equal to the life lost this way. -2, put a 5/5 Black Demon creature token with flying on the battlefield, you lose 2 life. -8, you get an emblem with pay 2, sacrifice a creature, you gain X life, draw X cards, draw X is the sacrifice creature's power, and it can be your commander. We're basically going to be +2ing it and then -2ing it the turn after, and keep on doing that unless we're about to drop a board wipe. Be smart with that. Like, don't -2 it and then drop a board wipe. We run 2 Kai's Ghost Form just to keep them alive, because this is literally where all of our opponents' removal is going, is towards our Planeswalkers. So, enchant creature Planeswalker you control. When it dies, just put in exile, return that card to the battlefield under your control. We run 2 of those. We got 1 Cabal Stronghold, which says it taps your colorless, pay 3, tap it, add black for each basic swamp you control, and then we have 22 swamps. 4 Cabal Strongholds would be better. Cabal Strongholds are expensive. I only have 1. So that's what happened there, and of course we have a sideboard. We got 1 Torment of Scarabs, a 4-drop enchantment, or a curse enchant player at the beginning of a enchant player's upkeep. They lose 3 life unless they sacrifice an on-land permanent or discard a card. Palace Siege, a 5-drop enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, choose Khans or Dragons. You're going to be choosing Dragons because we don't run creatures. At the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent loses 2 life, you gain 2 life. Cruel Reality, a 7-drop enchantment or a curse enchant player at the beginning of their upkeep. They sacrifice a creature or planeswalker. They have to do that. If they can't, they lose 5 life. And if they can't sacrifice something because they have Tamiyo out on the field, they lose 5 life. No matter what, every upkeep, they just lose 5 life. So if Tamiyo's on the field and then you play this, that actually benefits you. We got Ashiok for dredge decks that may appear, that probably won't appear, but who knows. 3-drop, 5 loyalty, spells and abilities your opponent's control can't cause them to search their library. -1, they mill 4, and then exile the graveyard. Woohoo. We've got Eradicate, in case we have something pop up that we really need to get rid of, and we don't want it coming back, like Thief of Sanity would be one. It's a 4-drop sorcery, remove target Thief of Sanity we can't hit. Remove target non-black creature from the game, searches controller's graveyard, hand and library for all copies of that card, remove them from the game. That player then shuffles his or library. It's pretty nice. We run 1 more copy of Doomfall, 2 Cry the Carnarium in case we face token decks, but all creatures get -2/-2 until the end turn. Exile all creature cards and all graveyards that were put there from the battlefield. This turn, if a creature would die, this turn exile it instead. We have 4 Virulent Plague, I think, which just says creature tokens get -2/-2 as a 3-drop enchantment. So we don't want to get over. No, we only have 3. Okay. But, oh, nope, we have 4. We don't want to get overpowered by them. We'll run 3 copies of Perilous Predicament as a 5-drop instant. Each opponent sacrifice an artifact creature and a non-artifact creature just in case we need it. And then we have 1 last copy of Fountain of Renewal. So all in all, the deck just basically, kill stuff and hope to not die. And Mono Red would be the only competitor in that, but they'd have to be playing, like, this expensive version where they have, like, shocks and lightning bolts, and that's all that they have. They don't have creatures. So, of course, that's not very expensive. That's the most common deck, which is what this deck dies to. Which is why we have in the Fountain of Renewals. Hopefully those can keep you alive long enough, and also the other one that has the Khans or Dragons, that will help too. If you know what your play group is, and if they tend to play mono black, you can put in more Fountain of Renewals and Ill-Gotten Inheritances, and those will keep you alive for longer, and the Ill-Gotten Inheritance will also kill off your opponents at the same time. Very slowly, though, but that'll do. Obnixilis, what was the one? Because there is a sub that you can do that might be better. So Obnixilis of the Black Oath, you might sub out for Obnixilis Reignited, which would be probably a better commander. because I think it's +1, you draw a card, lose life, -3, destroy target creature, and then -8, target opponent gets an MO with whenever a player draws a card, they lose 2 life. That would probably be a better commander, I'll say. And also, if they're playing mono white, you're just going to exile all their lands, and then they're not going to play anything, and then you're going to kill them. Because that's what's going to happen with mono white, because otherwise they're probably going to gain too much life for you to keep up. So exile all their lands and then kill them. And if that's not possible, like, I don't see why that wouldn't be possible, because you can make a bunch of zombies with Lily on it, and at that point, if they don't have any lands, they're gaining at least linear amount of life, if they are at all. So it would be relatively easy to maintain that. So I haven't got to playtest it yet, but the times that I've built it before, it's done very well. Of course, when I did build it before, I played Ravenous Chupacabra, which 4-drop, 2/2, when it enters the battlefield, destroy a creature and opponent controls. I also played Resummoning Skeletons, because those you can board wipe and then they can come back for 2 mana, and they're 1/1s that they could ping. And then I also played Overseer of the Damned, a 7-drop 5/5 flyer. When it enters the battlefield, you may destroy a target creature. Whenever a creature opponent controls dies, create tap 2/2 black zombie. So that was the previous build. Of course, it was less kill spells, but I mean the creatures doubled as kill spells mostly. There were also a lot of death touchers in there. Oh no, that was the build before that. But it went from death touchers to creatures that actually kill things to just kill spells. But this deck is definitely, it has more exile, so you're not going to deal with like gutter bones and stuff. Those aren't going to be problems. Dredge shouldn't be a big problem, because you're going to exile whatever they have that they're going to use for their spells, because they have to have creatures in order to make the deck work. I've played Dredge. I have the vintage build of it, minus the Deadbridge chant, but that's not important. It's also the most expensive part. So, this deck, it does very well. It'll win you a lot of games. If you want to, you can go the full curse build, which is just take out the planeswalkers, put in curses, because enchantments are actually the hardest thing to remove. And there's not a lot of exile target enchantment, so you can get that back with Elixir of Immortality, at least. Running 2 would be the best way to go, I'd say. 2 Elixir of Immortality. I just don't know where my second one went. It's probably in a deck somewhere. I'll find it later. But all in all, this deck will be able to probably kill off whatever you're facing. Planeswalkers aren't going to be a problem. Tokens won't be a problem, hopefully. I know my friend. He's one of the best players at the shop I go to, and he's a judge there, a level 2 judge. No, that's Dragon Ball. He's still a judge. He's a Magic judge, and he's been training our other judge there, because now he goes around and does judging all over the state. So I haven't seen him in a while. But when I was first playing, my friend was playing an all-enchantment deck. This is a really funny story. So he's playing an all-enchantment deck. He's got one copy of this enchantment. It's 1-drop. Illness in the ranks. Creature tokens your opponents control... Or, no. Creature tokens just get -1/-1. That's all... That was the only copy in his deck. It actually hurt him more than anything, because he made tokens. And we're playing 2-headed giant it was me and him, across from this really amazing player, and then this player that was new to the game. So the amazing player, he's over there. He's playing his Thopter Foundry, something rather, Sword of the Mink combo or whatever. So you sacrifice a sword to make a Thopter, and then when the Thopter enters, the sword comes back from the graveyard equipped to the Thopter. So you can sacrifice the sword as many times as you want to make Thopters, because the other thing was an enchantment. And then you have this other card that says sacrifice 5 artifacts, take an extra turn. And since the Thopters were artifacts, he'd just sack them off and then take the extra turn, and then be able to keep on going with his combo. And that was how he won. He'd then kill you with an army of Thopters. But my friend played the thing, all creature tokens get -1/-1 on turn 1. It shut down his deck. All he could do was gain the life from them entering and him sacking off artifacts. And then my deck was Golgari. It was the Golgari mid-range deck. The other one, not the one that I uploaded yesterday, but the one from way back when that was on my channel. They're two different, because one's meant for multiplayer, the other one's not. So they are actually different. But if you want to go find that one, I've got a playlist of stuff. I'll link it in the description. Anyway, yeah, I'll just link the video in the description. You can go check it out. It'll be first link in this, probably only link in the description because I keep on forgetting to put my Discord in there. Which, guess what? We have a Discord. If you go to the channel page actually and go into the description maybe on the channel, it'll be there a link to join the Discord if you want. It's really empty right now because I'm the only one on the Discord, but yay, you can go there and join and have some fun with our very small community. But I'd enjoy it if you guys did. If you got this far, just let me know. Comment down in the comments I got to the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching, and I do appreciate it. It means a lot. Hopefully tomorrow is Friday. So tomorrow I'm going to be doing a two-headed giant tournament, and I'll upload the deck that I'm going to be playing in that tournament. It'll be two-headed giant commander. So I'll have a video for that uploaded on Friday. So thank you guys for watching, and have a good day.